I'm Joe Carson. I'm the son of a former member here at the Terraces at Peachtree Hill Place. We first heard about the Terraces at Peachtree Hill Place through a case manager who really helped us identify where were the best places that we needed to care for Mom given a dementia diagnosis and the special care needs that we thought was important for her because she also had mobility issues and other healthcare issues as well. We did look at a few other places and we knew this was going to be a difficult decision, especially after receiving my mother's dementia diagnosis. We wanted to make sure we picked just the right place for Mom. So we involved a case manager who helped us try to find where were the best places in Atlanta and what would be important in that decision. When we first came here and took a look at the place and saw the amazing facility, we saw several things that we really liked. First was the fact that everything was integrated. All the healthcare needs were all taken care of in one location. It was just fantastic to have not only her mental health needs taken care of, but her healthcare needs as well, including dental, eye care, and everything else was all taken care of in one place. We thought that was fantastic. We also liked the fact that they had different community areas that were all kind of separated into the different segments so that my mother could be in a community that fit for her. She also got much more individual care because of that. And third was the facility itself. I mean, you just walk in the door and you go, you know this place is a special place. We thought it was just fantastic. And we were very impressed by it, and we knew it was home right away. At one point here, my mother fell and unfortunately broke her back. She had to go to the hospital and have back surgery. But when she came back, she didn't have to go to a special rehab place off campus. They actually have a floor dedicated for rehab for their current residents. So my mother merely had to move up one floor. It made it so much easier for us to manage because she was all in the same place that we already had all of her belongings and all her stuff. So that just worked out terrific. One of the things that also impressed us at the Terraces at Peachtree Hill Place was they got to get to know my mother. In fact, we spent a lot of time working on her biography, which was quite celebrated in her time, and posted up outside the door. The residents and the staff would come read that and engage with my mother, asking her questions about her past and some of the things she had done and accomplished here in the Atlanta area. Yeah, my mom really was a special person. She was a community leader and had a reputation for resilience and really bringing joy to people's hearts. She's a Holocaust survivor, so she saw a lot of pain in her life, but came over here to the United States after the war. Met my father, started a very successful printing company business in downtown Atlanta, but then became very involved in her community. And that made it seem more homely and friend-like. And it really was part of what made this a special experience for my mother. She wasn't just a person in a bed. She was really part of the community. People knew who she was, and she got a chance to know other people who also had their own story to tell. And they were able to connect on that level. There were a number of memories of my time with my mother here. It certainly was a difficult time with her dementia diagnosis, for sure, but the staff really did a great job of making the best of her time here as well as they could. One particular memory really comes to mind. Toward the end, my mother was having difficulty with eating, and one of the chefs actually came in early from his shift to cut up strawberries because he knew my mother loved strawberries and he wanted to be part of her life and part of her story. He had heard of her story before, and he had said, I just wanted to be with your mom and spend some special time with her. So even the chef came in early to take care of her. And we were so touched by this. You know when you're in front of people that love their work, that come to work because they love taking care of elderly people, and you could see that present in everything, in every aspect of the staff. We saw it in the wait staff, we saw it in the janitorial services, we especially saw it in the nursing staff. We were particularly impressed with the head manager of the floor that my mother was on in memory care. She did such an amazing job of not only making sure that my mother was taken care of, but making sure the entire staff came to work smiling and happy and ready to take care of my mom and the other residents on the floor every day. Yeah, if I were to give advice to folks who are getting ready to start the journey that I've just completed, I would tell them that it's much harder than you think. It is a very difficult journey and you need help to do it. A lot of people give the example of, oh, it's just like taking care of kids. It's harder than that. You can't imagine it because your adult parents really know what they want. They've lived a great life. They want to be active. They're very vocal about their needs. And you really need to have a partner who can work with you to work through that transition period. And that's one of the things we really appreciated about the Terraces at Peachtree Hill Place. They really were my partner through this very difficult journey that we took, and I couldn't have done it without them. Having my mother in a facility such as the Terraces at Peachtree Hill Place meant that me and my family could really, as well as we could, go about our daily life, and at the same time, make sure that we knew when we went to bed at night that Mom was well taken care of. That was the thing that was so important to us. Before, we always had a little bit of worry. Always had to kind of sleep with one eye open, wondering how Mom is doing and is she being well taken care of. I really felt like I had to be the hub of the wheel. I had to take care of everything. I had to coordinate across all different functions and disciplines. I had to make sure that one doctor knew what the other doctor said. I had to make sure that Mom was picked up or taken home, or she had her dental appointments and everything that was taken care of. But once I moved here to the Terraces at Peachtree Hill Place, they really took care of all that. And in fact, they told me, Joe, you can move from being the central caregiver, and we got a new role for you now. You can just be a loving son. Come in and visit your mom, shower her with love, but you can leave at the end of your visit and know that we're going to take care of her. And that was so special to me, and that made a big change in our own life.